Hi guys, welcome back to In Case of Econ Struggles. Today we're talking about some different types of elasticities. So in a previous video, we've talked about what elasticity is and how to calculate it. So if you want a refresher on how to calculate elasticity, feel free to see the video that's popping up in the upper right corner. Otherwise, we'll start with the price elasticity of demand. Like I said last time, the price elasticity of demand is the percentage change in quantity demanded when the price changes by 1%. We're calculating all these elasticities with a midpoint formula. So here's that midpoint formula again. Notice that these 2 points, the green quantity and the orange price, those are coming from 2 points on the demand curve. We know that the elasticity can change along the demand curve, but in general, if we're dealing with an ordinary good, the price elasticity of demand should be negative because as price goes up, we should demand less. Now, if we flip that and go to the price elasticity of supply is very similar, but now it's the percentage change in quantity supplied when the price changes by 1%. Again, we're using this midpoint formula. We've got E sub S for the elasticity of supply. We're still using that midpoint formula, except now these are 2 points on the supply curve. So this is the percentage change in quantity over the percentage change in price. Again, we generally expect this to be greater than or equal to 0 because if you're the seller and you see the price of your good go up, you probably want to supply more. Now we can have a cross price elasticity of demand. That's where the percentage change in price and the percentage change in quantity are 2 different goods. So this is the percent change in quantity demanded of some good when the price of another good changes by 1%. We denote this by this EXY, where this is good 1 and this is good 2. So again, still using the midpoint formula. So here's the percentage change in the quantity of X, and here's the percentage change in the price of Y. This is useful for calculating complements and substitutes. What do I mean by that? Well, if X and Y are substitutes, so maybe this X is Coke and this is Pepsi, if the elasticity I get is positive, that means that my quantity of Pepsi goes up as the price of Coke goes up. So I'm switching away from Coke to Pepsi. Now, if they're complements, so maybe like hamburgers and hamburger buns, then I would expect the cross price elasticity to be negative. Why is that? If the price of hamburger buns goes up by 1%, I shouldn't be buying more hamburgers. I should be buying less hamburgers. So as this goes up, the quantity should be going down, which gives me a negative elasticity. The last elasticity I'm going to talk about is called the income elasticity of demand. This is similar to a price elasticity of demand, but instead of change with respect to price, we're changing with respect to income. So it's just the percent change in quantity demanded when my income changes by 1%. So I call this elasticity sub D. Sometimes it might be elasticity sub W. But anyway, we're still doing the midpoint formula, but instead of the percentage change in price, it's the percentage change in income. Also useful for figuring out normal versus inferior goods, because if my income elasticity of demand is positive, it's a normal good, and if it's less than 0, it's an inferior good. So hopefully this gives you a couple different elasticities that are common. We talked about in econ and how to calculate them and what they mean. If this was helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time for another case of econ struggles.